The Obama administration's strategy for defeating ISIS is at the center of several hearings on Capitol Hill this morning. You're looking live at the House Armed Services Committee, where our own General Jack Keane will be testifying about President Obama's request for new war powers. There's General at the table right now before things get getting underway there. But Senator John McCain says the Obama administration has been failing to lead, in his opinion. Strong words from him.
People who served with distinction in this country for many years, Republican and Democrat administrations, all of them have said they've never seen the world in more turmoil, and these things don't happen by accident. It's not like hurricanes or earthquakes. It's a matter of a failed, feckless foreign policy that began in 2009, and the chickens are coming home to roost.
Joined now by Illinois Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger. He is a veteran, and he is a member of the Air National Guard, and he joins me now. Congressman, good morning. Good to have you back on the program.
Hey, Martha. Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Is that your experience as well? Senator John McCain says that, you know, when he talks to people of experience, both Democrats and Republicans, that they are extremely concerned about the policy unraveling that has led to this situation. Do you find that as well?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It pains me to say it. This isn't something I celebrate to be able to attack the president on, because this is America's reputation. It really feels like the last 6 years, we've blown the last 60 years of American credibility. You know, obviously we have the explosion of ISIS. Now we find out they're in Libya. They're in a lot of places. They're in my district, frankly, in Rockford, Illinois, we found out. You look at what's going on in Ukraine. Russia has torn apart one of the largest countries in Europe, and this administration has stood back and denied giving defensive weapons to the Ukrainians to defend their own homeland. And then you look at the brutality of Bashar al-Assad in Syria, who's killed 200-some thousand of his own people, mostly women and children. And this president has said that we're going to train the opposition, but has failed to do so. Literally, our enemies they don't fear us, and our allies are very confused by where we stand. So it's a very bad position to be in.
Well, the message that the administration wants to put out there is quite clear. John Kerry stated it himself yesterday. He said, you know, when you really look at the picture globally and historically, the world is a safer place than it has been in a long time. I guess the big question is why? Why is that the headline that they want out there right now?
Because, look, I think the reason they want that headline out there is because that defeats the message that this has been a failed president on foreign policy. If you can say, look, the world's richer than it's ever been, basically true, right? A lot of folks in Africa have been pulled out of poverty by democracy and capitalism. But yet you also have the spread of jihadism in Africa. It's definitely not safer than it's been. But by saying that, they're able to counter the narrative that, you know, with the spread of ISIS, with the tearing apart of Ukraine, with the question of NATO's stance against Russia, and all these other things, you know, this is a failed president in foreign policy. He doesn't like that. Look, I think historically the president is going to be judged as one of the most failed foreign policy presidents this country's had, and I don't cheer that. I hope this turns around on a dime. I'd love to see the president restore American leadership around the globe, and I'll be the first person cheering him on to do it, but I just haven't seen the indication of that.
We know that what the president has requested from Congress would not include any ground troops. You were in Iraq, fought in Afghanistan as well, I believe. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that. I spoke with a former Navy SEAL who fought in Anbar province recently, and he said, we know how to do this. We, you know, looking at the situation on the ground, we can absolutely defeat these guys. Do you agree?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I introduced an alternate authorization to use of military force that pulls the 3-year restriction out and also the restriction on ground troops, because, look, American forces are really good at killing the enemy if called upon to do that. This idea that the existence of ISIS is terrible unless it takes American ground troops, in which case the existence of American ground troops is worse, is ludicrous. The military is good at what they do, and we would destroy ISIS in a second if unleashed. But the president's got to, you know, step up. He's got to bring the allies together. He's probably got to embed some American special operators in with some frontline Iraqi and Peshmerga units, and he's got to directly arm the Kurds. That's one thing you have to do. This can be handled, but he's limiting himself.
Really quickly, we're on our 4th head of the Defense Department right now. Do you think Ashton Carter is going to have an easier time running the Pentagon and dealing with the president's strategy than the others?
Well, he's a smart guy, but at the end of the day, the president and Valerie Jarrett seem to run foreign policy, so they'll outpower him if he's hawkish.
Adam Kinzinger, thank you very much. Good to have you back.
You bet.